I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but lately I've realized something. For the longest time, I genuinely thought nothing was changing. Like, nothing. I was reading, listening to podcasts, watching videos, writing things down, trying to change the way I thought. And if I'm honest, most days it felt pointless. I kept thinking, when is something actually going to happen? Because you hear people say, trust the process, but nobody tells you the process is actually really boring. Sometimes it feels like you're putting in all this work and your life looks exactly the same. Then something happened. Not something huge, nothing crazy. I just realized I'm reacting differently. The things that used to ruin my whole day don't anymore. When people say something about me, I don't immediately believe it. When someone wants an argument, I don't feel like I have to join anymore. Not because I've got nothing to say, but because I've realized protecting my peace is more important than proving my point. And that scared version of me would never have believed I'd become this person. That's when something clicked. I think we expect change to arrive like a lightning bolt. One day you're insecure, the next day you're confident. That's not how it works. It's more like one day you realize you handled something differently, and you didn't even notice when you learned how. That's exactly what's been happening to me. A year ago, if something happened, I'd replay it in my head for hours, sometimes days. I'd question myself, wonder if I was wrong, wonder what people thought. Now, something happens. I feel it. I think about it. Then I let it go. Not because I don't care, because I trust myself. And I don't think people realize how big that actually is. Nobody wakes up confident. Nobody wakes up disciplined. Nobody wakes up trusting themselves. You build that one promise at a time, one decision at a time, one uncomfortable conversation at a time, one day where you keep going, even though nothing seems to be changing. That's the part nobody sees. Everybody wants the confidence. Nobody wants the months where nothing feels different. Everybody wants success. Nobody wants the part where it feels like you're working for something that doesn't even exist yet. I think our brains make this harder too, because your brain loves immediate evidence. It wants proof. It wants results. It wants certainty. It wants to know this is working. But growth doesn't work like that. Your brain is changing before your life does. Your habits change before your results do. Your identity changes before your circumstances do. Think about building a house. Nobody walks onto a construction site, looks at the foundation, and says, this is pointless, because they understand the foundation comes first. So why do we do that with ourselves? Why do we expect our lives to look different before we finish building the foundation? I actually think affirmations finally make sense to me now. Not because they're magic, not because saying, I'm successful, suddenly makes you successful, but because I realized something. Your brain is listening to you more than anyone else. If every night you tell yourself, I'm behind, I'm failing, nothing's working, your brain starts believing that's the story. But lately, I've been saying different things. I'm building. Something is happening. Good things are happening behind the scenes. I don't have to see everything today. I just have to keep showing up. And honestly, I don't know if it's the words or the fact that I'm finally starting to believe them, but something feels different. Maybe that's what discipline actually is. Not forcing yourself to work, not waking up at 5 in the morning, not being productive every second. Maybe discipline is simply keeping promises to yourself long enough that your brain starts trusting you. Because every time you tell yourself, I'm going to do this, and then you actually do it, you become someone your own mind believes. And I think that's where confidence actually comes from, not from success, from self-trust. If you've been working on yourself lately and it feels like nothing is happening, can I just tell you something? Maybe more is happening than you realize. Maybe you're measuring your life when you should be paying attention to your mind. Because your life usually changes second. Your mind changes first. And maybe the person you're trying so hard to become is already being built. You just haven't lived long enough to meet them yet.